Have you ever lost something you spent hundreds, maybe thousands of hours building? Not money, not piece of hardware, I'm talking about an account. For most people that probably sounds ridiculous. It's just a game, right? That's exactly what I thought, until one notification completely changed the way I looked at competitive games. I got banned from Valorant for an entire year. When I first saw the suspension, I was angry, like really angry. My first reaction wasn't to think about what happened, it wasn't to reflect or admit that I had made mistakes. Instead, I looked for someone to blame. I blamed Riot, I blamed the system, I blamed my teammates, basically anyone except myself. And if you have ever been banned from a game before, there is a good chance you know exactly what I'm talking about. When something you have invested so much time into suddenly disappears, your brain immediately starts looking for excuses. It wasn't that serious. Other people do it worse. They just targeted me. I don't deserve this. Those thoughts feel comforting because they protect your ego, but they are also dangerous because they stop you from learning anything. So before we go any further, I'm not making this video to back Riot for another chance. I'm not trying to convince you that I am innocent, and I'm completely not making this because I want sympathy. I'm making it because spending a year away from one of my favorite competitive games forced me to think about something I had ignored for a long time: how easy it is to let competition change the way you behave. If you have played competitive games long enough, you have probably had moments where your emotions completely took over. Maybe you typed something you shouldn't have. Maybe you argued with your teammates. Maybe you got tilted after losing several games in a row. Maybe you convinced yourself that everyone else is the problem. Competitive games have a strange way of making normal people act differently. You don't notice it at first. It happens little by little. One frustrating match becomes two, two become 10. Eventually, getting angry starts feeling normal. And that's where the real problem begins. Looking back now, I can honestly say that I cared way too much about winning. Not because I wanted to improve, but because losing felt personal. Every defeat felt like someone was attacking my skill, my time, or even my identity. Instead of thinking, what could I have done better? I started thinking my teammates are useless, my matchmaking is terrible, the enemy got lucky, anything except accepting the responsibility. And that's a mindset that doesn't just hurt your rank, it hurts you as a player. The funny thing is, you never expect it to end with a ban. You always think it will happen to someone else. You watch videos of people getting suspended and think, how do people even manage to get banned? Then one day you are the one reading the suspension message. And suddenly all those hours you have invested into your account feel incredibly fragile. Every skin, every rank, every achievement, everything you have spent years building can disappear because of a handful of bad decisions. And that's a lesson I learned the hard way. At first I couldn't stop thinking about everything I had lost, but after a while I started thinking about something much more important. Why did I let a video game affect me this much in the first place? That question stayed in my head for weeks, and honestly, the answer wasn't something I wanted to hear. The more I thought about it, the more I realized that the bomb wasn't actually the biggest loss. The biggest loss happened long before that. Somewhere along the way, I stopped playing because I enjoyed the game. I started playing because I felt like I had to win. Every match became a test, every loss felt like a failure. Every mistake, whether it was mine or someone else's, felt bigger than it actually was. And that's a terrible way to experience a game. Competitive games are designed to make you care. You climb ranks, you unlock rewards, you improve your mechanics, you build confidence, but there is a very thin line between caring about improvement and becoming emotionally controlled by the outcome. I crossed that line without even noticing. When you are in that mindset, every bad teammate feels like the end of the world. Every unlucky round feels unfair, and every defeat feels personal. You stop asking yourself, what can I learn? Instead, you ask, who is responsible for this? And once you start looking for someone else to blame, improving becomes almost impossible. One thing I learned during this year is that stepping away from a game can completely change your perspective. At first, I missed Valorant every day. I mean, whenever I saw gameplay on YouTube or Twitch, I wanted to play again, and I wondered what the new updates were like, how agents changed, how the meta changed. I felt like I was missing out. But after a few months, something unexpected happened. I realized the world didn't stop. My friends kept playing, the game kept changing, new players reached ranks I had spent months chasing, life moved on. And that taught me something important. No matter how much time you invest into an online game, it shouldn't become your entire identity. Because one update, one mistake, or one suspension can take it away overnight. Now, does that mean I think the punishment was perfect? Not really. I'm sure some people watching this think a 1 year ban is way too harsh. Others probably think I deserved even more. And honestly, I can understand both opinions. A year is a long time, especially in live service game. Maps change, agents get reworked, the meta evolves, strategies disappear. Coming back after a year almost feels like learning the game again. But at the same time, rules only matter if they are enforced. So if companies made exceptions every time someone regretted their actions, those rules wouldn't mean much anymore. Whether I agree with every part of the punishment or not isn't really the point anymore. The point is that I made choices, and those choices had consequences. That's something every competitive player eventually has to understand. It's easy to think it will never happen to me until it does. And once it does, you can't rewind time. You can't undo messages you have already sent. You can't take back moments where frustration got better of you. All you can do is decide who are you going to be next time you get another chance. Looking back now, I honestly wish I had learned that lesson before losing access to the account I have spent so much time building. So where does that leave me today? Well, I'm still banned. The countdown is still there. I still can't play up with my friends on my main account. I still can log into the account where I spent countless hours improving, collecting skins, and creating memories. And honestly, there are days when that really sucks. Whenever a new update comes out, I want to experience it myself instead of just watching someone else play. Whenever I see a new skin bundle or an exciting tournament, I can't help but think, damn, I wish I could be playing right now. But at the same time, this year has given me something I probably never would have had otherwise. I mean, perspective. It's easy to think that the game is everything when you play it every single day. It's much harder to believe that once you are forced to step away. I have realized that no rank, no skin collection, and no win streak is worth losing control over how you treat other people or how you let the game affect you. Valorant is supposed to be something we enjoy. It is supposed to challenge us. It is supposed to create exciting moments, not become something that controls our emotions. When my suspension finally ends, I know one thing for sure. I won't be the exact same player I was before. Of course, I will want to climb. Of course, I want to improve. That's the part what makes competitive games fun. But I don't want every match to decide my mood anymore. I don't want one bad teammate to ruin my entire day. I don't want one loss to make me forget why I started playing in the first place. Maybe I will hit my old rank again. Maybe I won't. Honestly, that isn't what matters most anymore. What matters is enjoying the journey instead of letting the journey control me. If this band taught me anything, it is that every decision has consequences, even in a video game. Sometimes those consequences feel unfair, sometimes they feel deserved, but there are always an opportunity to learn something about yourself. And I hope that when that day finally comes and I can play again, I will remember everything I have talked about in this video, because I don't want this year to have been wasted. I want it to mean something. So now I want to ask you something. Have you ever been banned from a game? Or maybe you have never been banned, but you have had a moment when you realized a game was affecting your behavior more than it should. Do you think wrong banks actually help players change, or do you think they are simply too harsh? I would generally like to hear your opinion, so let me know down in the comments. Thank you for watching, take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one.